Going to call to order this meeting of the best Rotary Club in the, and we have a invocation. Tiffany.
I don't think this is, oh, okay, we're good. Gracious God, thank you for this time of fellowship and service. Bless this meal, our time together, and the work we do to strengthen our community. May we lead with integrity, kindness, and a commitment to serve above self. Amen.
Thank you. And our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that's it. Take a seat. All right. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? No visiting Rotarians. Do we have guests of Rotarians other than Anniversaries? Mike?
These are my good friends, Paul and Mary Bianchini. You've got them on the docket to speak at some time about Children of the Valley. Do you want them to do it now?
Yeah, actually, we could go ahead and do that now real quick
Okay.
if you'd like to get up.
I'll hand the mic over to Mary.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for giving me this time. My name is Mary Bianchini, and I and my husband, Paul, are both retired teachers from the Concrete School District. We have lived in Sedro Woolley for over 35 years, and our son Isaac graduated in 2012. I am coming to you today as a representative of Children of the Valley in Sedro Woolley. I have been a volunteer, a donor, a mentor teacher, and a committee member for the past 4 years. And I know that last week, my peers spoke to you about our program here in our community. So I will not repeat what she has spoken about. The Catholic Church over here in town has graciously let us house our program here for the past 4 years. And at this time, they are needing the site back. So we are currently working with the Sedro Woolley School District and looking to purchase a portable to be located at a school here in town. In my last 4 years as a volunteer here in the Sedro Woolley Children of the Valley, I have watched the emotional, the academic, and the social growth of many of the same students who have been with me in the program. We provide a reliable, stable place for them to come daily after school, and I really, truly believe in this program. I encourage you, I think last week, some of these invitations were left, and I do have a few more. I encourage you to come to our dinner next week. It will be right here on June 25th from 5:30 to 7 to learn more about our program here in Sedro Woolley. I know this is a busy time for people, but please join us for a great taco dinner and a beverage, and some of our local alumni are going to speak about the program, and so we hope to see you. There is an RSVP on the invite. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and Yulia, would you like to just jump in and do some anniversaries?
It is my pleasure to introduce to you our anniversary couples in June. And we have Samantha Nick Storman. And Samantha, I didn't get the memo whether they're doing it together or she's doing it by herself, but somehow she found herself in Italy. So too far to fly back, so they're not going to be here today. And also Joe Jones and Tessa are gallivanting somewhere as well. But we do have, guess what, Nick Van Jarlsveld, and I think he needs to finish whatever he's eating, because he's going to have to say a couple of words and in order to take the rose back to Vicky. Oh, sorry, to Kristen.
Thank you. Yeah. Kristen and I have been married 21 years this year. I guess the kid update, I've got now 2 high schoolers. My son will be a freshman next year and my daughter's a junior. And no big trips planned. Last year we did our big 20th. So this year we figured we'd save a little money. But yeah, 21 years.
And we have one couple who is actually here as a couple. We have Travis and Vicky.
Thank you. This is our 32nd anniversary. We have 2 adult kids that are grown and married and 1 grandbaby, our very first. And life is good. And I got to tell you, I couldn't do this without this partner of mine over here. So I just love her to death. And she's been there for me through thick and thin. So I just really appreciate it.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
All right, happy anniversaries to all. Let's see, Brock, would you like to say a couple of words about foot race?
Well, it's going to be more than a couple, but anyway, as you know, 4th of July is coming up. It's going to be on a Saturday this year, so it's expecting a big crowd. Last year we had 720 runners, I think. Probably expect a little bit more if the weather's really good. So I'm just going to go through really quickly with the foot race participation. So Mike Swigert, you going to be there to open the gym again? Yeah, as long as they don't take my keys. All right, well, just don't turn them in. Just keep them. Okay, and then the Rutherfords are always in charge of setting up the tables there at 6:45, right? 6:45, Mike, you got to be there. All right, at 7 o'clock, we have the registration. So last year we had Steve Huggins. Got to speak up there, Steve. Okay. Kyle Rutherford is good. Mike Swigert, you help at the registration table. How about Carl Garrison? Good. Emily Huggins? All right. Sheena Burns. Okay, not sure yet. Bill McCann. All right. Eric A. Johnson. All right. Yulia Garrison. All right. And Eric R. Johnson. Registration. And Julia. Okay. All right. Now there is a big change with parking. So Steve and Les are always in charge of the parking. So, so you see on the tables here, there's this little map right here. So the reason this change is that Wally Street, where most of the people have always come into to get to the high school to registration, because registration's right in the high school parking lot in front of the gym. That's going to be closed down probably at like 8 o'clock or 8:30 in the morning. So we're trying to avoid people even going in that direction, because if they park along Wally Street, they're probably not going to get out until after the parade's over. So the solution to this is, as you can see on the map, is there's a red line from Jameson Street. So we're going to be directing everybody onto Jameson Street, probably through the roundabout, to get to there's a gate next to the tennis courts there. They'll be able to go, all the people parking will be able to drive their vehicles across the field that's there. And then the school district, through Rotary's help, I think, ended up putting a new gate between where the high school is and Woods Logging. And so the people are going to be able to come through there and then access the gate to still park in front of the high school gym and the football field there. And then when they're done, here's the beauty about this. When they're done, they're going to be able to go back out the same direction, get on Jameson Street. And if they don't want to stay for the parade, they can go up to Highway 9 and they're out of town. But if anybody's parking into town, it's unlikely they're going to be getting out of there until after the parade. So we're advertising this on the webpage. And so I just want everybody here to know that if people are asking where to park, direct them to Jameson Street. Now, once the parade starts setting up and everything, it's hard to get around on 3rd Street and any place around from the high school. So you might have to tell people to go out to Highway 20 and go hook onto Highway 9 and go south and then do the roundabout onto Jameson Street there. And that's what we're kind of trying to do, but we're still utilizing all the parking in front of the high school gymnasium because there's a lot of parking space there, and it seemed like a waste if we didn't still keep using that. So with that, John Janicki is always there to set up the scaffolding. Okay, he's not here. We'll get a hold of him. Let's see, was Sandra Jensen, I think last year, did the oranges. So probably not this year. Okay. Okay, I do need to ask to see about the water from North Cascade Ford, so we'll be getting on that. Mike Moser for the announcing. All right. And let's see, is Rick Limley here at all? No. Okay. So I need to get a hold of him. He's make sure that we have access to extension cords and everything into the garage back there. So that's another thing we'll be doing. Now, traffic control, obviously the very most important thing is we've never had anybody run over. So we're going to keep doing that this year. So on Metcalf and Warner, we had Daryl Skiles and I think it's Doc Martin, right? Okay. And John Janicki was on Metcalf and Ferry, Mike Janicki on Ferry and Murdoch, Rich Wyrick on Ferry and Puget, Dave Bricka on Ferry and Reed. Good, okay. Tim Howland, I think, has been on Ferry and Haynes before. Can you do that again, Tim? Okay, very good. Don Olmsted was on Ferry and Central. Is Don here? All right. Let's see here. How about Kenny Van Loo? Okay, and Eric's going to be gone, and I don't know if Tim, so he's on River and the Township. Anyway, Phil Brockman, you've always been on like Township and Bennett. Good there again. Okay, how about Danny Russell? You going to be around? You're not going to be around? Okay. Okay, after that, we're going to be arranging the water stations again. So I'll be sending out an email with everybody where we've currently got you. Anybody that I didn't call their name that can participate anywhere? Tentative, Chris. Okay. And Becky, you're going to do the drawing out of the hat and everything? Okay.
Brock. So I will be able to set up the audio system for the start line, but I'll need someone to volunteer to break it down. Okay. And ideally, it would be nice if they help set up so that they know how to break down too. But I need to volunteer for that.
So what time are you going to be there, you think?
Probably between 7:30.
Okay, so that's pretty early. So anybody be able to help Eric here setting up? Okay, anybody else? I didn't call their name yet. All right. Yeah, we normally do. I just, I think I might have pulled an old list here. So I'll, but it's really helpful when I just send it out to everybody with names on it from what they did last year, and then they can respond where they can do it, and then we can fill people up. So, okay, that's it. Thank you. Oh, Mark. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was looking at this and just noticed that it was from probably about 5 years ago. So some of these people aren't even around anymore. So where we usually have you anyway? Okay, so you're going to be there again. Okay, everybody, thanks.
No applause for Brock. All right, and let's see, Carl Garrison.
Fellow Rotarians, we've been asked to donate on another international project in Uruguay this time. So I think it's kind of fun that our reach is expanding further across the globe. This one, I pushed back immediately on it on behalf of the people in the group. It's for a Santa Margarita Independent Catholic School, and they need some help furnishing it and doing school supplies and things like that. It's a noble effort, but I said, well, we're not really a religious organization, so why should we donate to this one? And this is being proposed by the Rotary Club of Coquitlam, a fellow named Chris Boyd. His father, you may remember, was our district governor, Dennis Boyd, very nice man. Yuli and I became friends with him and in our Rotary time, and he's a rock solid Rotarian, just a great guy. And his kids are similar. So anyway, Chris came back and convinced me that this was it's an independent Catholic school. They help everybody. There's no limit on who they will help or can attend the school and so forth. And so I was satisfied that we should ask the committee. I asked the committee, and we've had 2 or 3 responses in favor. And they've asked for $3,500, and I'm suggesting we find $2,000 in our international budget or budget somewhere to support this project. And it will expand our Rotary voice down to Uruguay, which I think is pretty cool. So if anybody has any questions, comments, or otherwise, let me know. And if it's generally positive, we will find a way to support it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Carl. And then just a heads up, we had a $2,000 donation to the foundation. I guess it's guilt money. Bruce Berglund said he felt really bad about not making it to meetings, and he's moving to Arizona, and he bought his way out of the club. I said, not really necessary, but it's very much appreciated. So he's he sets the precedent. There you go. So yeah, David, if you could talk to Sandra, if she's want to buy her way out of the club too, that would be helpful. Let's see. We have Adele Skinner's name on the table for proposed membership. I've heard nothing but good things about her. Membership committee has reviewed it, and this is the first of our 2 weeks to get her name out there for review. Please send me or Travis any feedback. Me still for the next couple of weeks, but Travis is sure to take a look at it too if you have any feedback that you wanted to get on the table as well. And Steve and Travis, and you're just sitting together, are we going to have invoices and all that, or just word of mouth going out on dues? That'd be Ellen. Got it. So check your email. I have to have Ruth remind me to check my email. She actually sent me a text the other day and says, check your email. And I did, and I didn't want what was in there, but I checked anyway. Becky, do you need to say anything about installation?
We're all ready. We have these 2 fabulous girls doing the decorations. We have Chris Eager lined up to entertain us over the first hour. This is Tuesday, June 30th for our installation. I have about 80 people signed up so far, so if you haven't signed up, let me know. It's going to be a fabulous evening.
Perfect. Thank you, Becky. And thank you again for all the work you do on these things. It's wonderful. I mean, when Becky takes a hold of this, it's like, it's out of sight, out of mind, and she just makes sure it gets done. And then let's see, Chris, did you have a couple of words you wanted to say about concerts and hula hooping?
I'll just make it real quick. A reminder that we're going to make hula hoops for the concert series. If anybody needs any more posters, I got posters. And then I just wanted to thank the sponsors, especially the ones that are here. This year, we got the Eagles Club, Pet Wants, D. Bennett Construction, new sponsor, Black Heart Treats, Edward Jones. Nick, you finally paid your invoice. Thank you. Skagit Aggregates, Carl DeJong, Mexi Craves, Mount Baker Mortgage, the museum, thank you. I got Bill, I got Julia and Eric Johnson. And then, of course, our presenter today, Skagit Storytellers. So again, next Thursday, the 25th, around 5:30 to whenever we're finished, I'll do pizza, bring the kids over the parking lot at Roth and Bueller's, making hula hoops.
All right, thanks, Chris. Do we have anything else from the floor? Any announcements from the floor? All right, hearing none, we're going to move on. We got a raffle. The dynamic raffle duo over there.
$20.
2-0. Winner, winner. Good job, Carl. Here. Here you go.
$12.
12, lucky 12. 1, 2. Oh. Okay. Are you gonna spin? Okay, good one.
Not only is she apparently on the mayor's staff today, she's also got a rigged raffle game going on
We'll
here.
do one more. We'll do one more.
Okay.
Go ahead.
$46.
4, 6.
And Mark, how long were you on a plane here? Oh. And Mark, if you want to grab something out of the closet, if you'd rather.
You can switch it. Ooh. Or auto parts. $25 gift certificate.
All right. Good to go. And for Sergeant at Arms today, we're going to rock it right through this. We're going to do the typical thing. If you have not signed up for installation, that's going to be $2. If you did not buy lunch, that's $2. And if you did not buy a raffle ticket, that's $2. And with that, we're going to move on to Happy Bucks.
I got some happy bucks here. As most of you probably already know, there was a young man in our club that recently was sworn in as Skagit Valley's most recent attorney. And that's my son, Eric A. Johnson. Very proud of him. And it just so happened to closely happen after his 40th birthday. So I have 40 happy bucks for him.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
So I have a happy 100. He stole my original thunder, but I'll take it and then I'll up it one. Today I got to go to court for the very first time as an attorney and do a hearing. Brock has already been abdicating his cases to me, trying to make his life a lot easier. So I was able to have my first hearing as attorney. I got sworn in on Tuesday. Very grateful to everybody who was supportive of me throughout this program over the years. For Travis for coming to the swearing in and supporting me there, and to all my family and friends, but especially to Brock and Tim, who served as my tutors for the past 4.5 years, 5 years, something like that. They did an awesome job. Brock swore me in. I got the privilege of having my tutor swear me in. So that was quite the honor, and definitely a memory to last a lifetime. So thank you.
I've got a happy five. I am in day 3 of retirement and I'm loving it. Thank you all for your kind words and good wishes, and for all those that attended our party, me and Sanders at the Country Meadow Village, that the company paid for, which was delightful. We had a great time. It was a great turnout, and I'm so proud of all that we did out of Country Meadow Village, and I'm really excited about life ahead. And today is my oldest nephew's birthday, John Drummond. He's 41. 28 years ago, we celebrated his 13th birthday at Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. That was really cool. He's going to the game tomorrow, the soccer game tomorrow. So that's a great birthday present, right?
I've got $100 to commemorate my mother's 100th birthday, which is unusual. And that was backed up by the birth of my new grandson a couple weeks ago. So kind of a big couple months here.
All right, is that it? It looks like it's it. All right, if you have to be an early leaver, drop a couple bucks off at the gate. And Chris, would you like to come up and introduce our program for today?
All right. I made Liz text me this so I wouldn't forget anything at the last minute. So Liz Duffy here, she approached me when I started looking for sponsorships for the summer concert series. And I felt kind of bad because I had never actually heard of her podcast. And, you know, when it comes to musicians locally, I thought I was pretty in the know. So I've learned a lot. And I thought I'd try to bring her here and share what she does with you. So Skagit Storytellers, it's a podcast that's recorded exclusively right here in Sedro Woolley, over on Fidalgo Street by Liz Duffy. By day, well, I guess not during the summer, but by day, she's a 2nd grade teacher at Edison Elementary School. And by night, she records interviews with community members, a lot of musicians from all of Skagit and Whatcom County. So with over 100 episodes recorded since 2022, yeah, there's a lot of amazing people that you can hop on there and hear their life stories. And I'm hoping that she's maybe talked to a few of you guys too. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my new friend and Sedro Woolley's concert series new sponsor, Liz Duffy.
How's that? Sound okay? You would think that since I'm constantly talking on a mic or talking to kids all day that I'm used to this, but I'm not. Our radio show is not live. We get to edit it, and a podcast is not live at all. So I take all my ums and ahs out. I joined Toastmasters a little while ago for a couple of years. I thought that would help me with my ums and ahs, but I think it made it worse because now I'm constantly thinking about it. There you go. Anyway, please don't count my ums. All right. I didn't know if my husband Spencer was going to join me today, so I put a fun picture of him up there from July 4th last year, just because that's one of my favorite pictures of him. So thank you for coming. All right. No. Oh, there we go. Okay, about me. I produce and host Skagit Storytellers podcast. I have my own studio in our basement on Fidalgo Street. I produce and host a weekly radio show with my lovely husband Spencer that showcases local original music and promotes shows in Whatcom and Skagit. We have 2 wonderful children. My stepson Riley is 7. He goes to Central Elementary. My daughter Olive will be 14 soon, and she'll attend Burlington Edison High School as a freshman in September. I've cried a lot this week over that. I have published 2 coloring books through Kindle Direct Publishing on Amazon, and have also helped my daughter Olive publish 3 books called The Pickle Trilogy. You can get those at the Central Skagit Library if you'd like. For a few years, I was very involved in the sport of ultra running. That's anything over a marathon. I've completed several marathons and a few ultras that range from 50K to 100 miles. I have posters plastered all over our basement from venues like Arcadium Public House in Conway, Lyman Tavern, Cat's West Side Stories, and Buxton's in Anacortes. My closet is chock full of t-shirts from Lazy Acres, Her Name Was Princess, Corey Vincent, and Shannon Patino. My husband is the drummer of the infamous upriver band Bare Feet. He's also the drummer for Clay Christopherson's band, Her Name Was Princess, and he moonlights for several other local artists. Basically, I live and breathe Skagit and Whatcom music. I'm not from here. I was born in Ladysmith on Vancouver Island. I've lived in Sedro Woolley for almost 8 years. I taught English in South Korea a couple times, as well as the UAE. I bartended in New Zealand, and while waiting for my visa, I lived in Victoria for about a year. We started in Everett, but moved up here for more affordable living. Currently, we live on Fidalgo Street, and I spend most of my time walking into town with my daughter. We hit up the library, the Goodwill, we go see Jackie at the local shop, we say hi to Natalie at Oliver and Hammer, we get lunch at the Garage Cafe, and I would not change a thing. I love it here. Never moving. Concrete. In 2018, I failed at my first 50K race. It was the Chuckanut 50K. I gave up at about mile 20 right before a section called Chin Scraper. It's literally straight up. But because of that decision, I met Dan Probst. He's the race director for the historical Mount Baker Ultra. We became fast friends, and I have helped out at that race every year. I was helping out at the 2022 Mount Baker Ultra in concrete when I met the new owners of the hub, Jeremy and Lisa Akers. Jeremy Akers is now the mayor of Concrete. We predicted that a couple of years ago. I started bartending up there in the summer. I hosted trivia that summer too, and I met a lot of interesting people. The more people I met, the more I wanted to tell others about their stories. I used to listen to long form podcasts that were hours long, no specific topic, just conversation and connection. So why not start my own podcast? I've done crazy physical challenges. I jumped into hosting trivia, even though I had never done it before. Why not start a podcast? This was harder than expected at first, finding guests. I didn't have any qualifications to be a guest. I still don't. I just want to hear your story. And if other people like it, great. If not, the episode is just for you and I. I often get people saying, what if I'm boring? To which I answer, if you're boring, it's my fault. I didn't ask you the right questions, which makes me think about teaching. So I teach second grade at Edison. I always forget to mention that the Burlington Edison School District is my main financial support for all of my passion projects. I don't get paid for any of the stuff that I do. I just love doing it. For example, so before, like I said, if a kid doesn't know how to read, they just need to be taught differently. All right. These were my first few guests. Jeremy Akers and Jack Mattingly sat around drinking whiskey and telling me stories. Nurse Tessa came on and shared about her new coaching program. Conrad is a local Sedro Woolley musician. He lives in California now. And the vaudeville right there, that's Charlie Chaplin's boat, the vaudeville. It used to live in a hangar in concrete at Myers Field. There are some really cool characters at the airport in concrete. And we have a couple episodes at the beginning of my series with those guys. At first, I could only find musicians to interview for the most part. Everyone has a story, but not everyone is comfortable on a mic. Musicians love mics, and they love talking about their music. I thought we'd just sit around and talk about music, but I learned about the history of Skagit County from Andy Brown, Scott Story, Quinn Thompson, and Shane Gildness. Miguel Garibay skipped school in the 8th grade and was so bored he picked up a bass guitar of his sister's and he never put it down. I love that story. Wes Jones and Charlie Krangle talked about their dads. And Trevor Lance praised so many people in the local music scene, we barely even got to talk about him. I get really emotional talking about these guests. They all walked into my studio as strangers and now they're friends. Charlie actually walked our daughter down the aisle at our wedding in concrete 2 years ago. Clay Christopherson was our officiant. Scott's daughter Raven was a guest on my radio show, and we have a really fun, unique friendship, and that all stemmed from sitting down with these people. And then there's Heidi. Sharing local stories is one thing. It's entertaining. Hearing about musical journeys, that's interesting. But Heidi's episode changed things for me. Heidi's a longtime Burlington teacher. She actually just retired yesterday. Her and I have crossed paths several times in our teaching. When her husband Ted passed away rather suddenly, she chose to express her grief differently than most people do. She was very open about it. I asked her, since she was so open about her grief, if she wanted to talk about it on the podcast. I like the idea of permission, specifically not asking permission from other people to do the things that you want to do. I wanted Heidi to share her story in the hopes that it would help give other people permission to live their life on their terms. I don't get a lot of comments on my episodes, but several listeners reported shedding tears while listening to her heartfelt stories of Ted, her kids, and her mom. There's a fantastic band from Anacortes called The Enthusiasts. I recommend them. Lead singer and songwriter Summer Valen has been a guest on the podcast with her brother Andrew. And last August, she asked me where my podcast episode was. When I record, I share my own stories to facilitate the conversation and connection, but then often I cut all my words out. The episode is not about me, it's about others and their story. But this got me thinking about a few things. I started this podcast because I like sharing other people's stories, but I had another ulterior motive. This is my mom, Genvi. She passed away in 2003 when I was 23 years old, and she was 46. I have a few photos of her and a letter she wrote me near the end, but that's it. When I was thinking about starting the podcast, I realized that our daughter Olive would have hours of my voice to listen to for years to come. She'd hear me laugh, cry, and do something I love doing. If I had a voicemail from my mom, I'd listen to it all the time. I've had Olive on the podcast too, and I'm so glad I did. She's almost 14 now, and she was a guest on the beginning a few times in my intros. Her voice and humor has changed so much since then. It's truly like a snapshot in time. One of my favorite stories of traveling is when I accidentally stole a car in New Zealand. It was actually an accident. The more stories I told and cut out of my podcast, I had this nagging feeling that I needed to write this stuff down or I'd start forgetting. My podcast recordings have been paused since March of this year while I type away at my life story. I don't know if anyone will enjoy reading my book or care to read it, but Olive will have it and she can share it with her kids too. I'm really grateful to my friend Bob Peltro, one of my podcast guests. He recommended Village Books. They have a program for first-time publishers. So if you know anyone who wants to publish a book, they'll walk you through all the steps. It's really, really fantastic. I wanted to showcase a few people from Sedro Woolley as well. I mentioned some musicians who graduated from Woolley. I know that you guys are always looking for interesting people to present here. Heather Saldivar, she's from Woolley. She went to Central. She's designing ties for the WNBA right now. She's on a rocket ship going somewhere. Haley Mae Suter, she currently goes to Sedro Woolley High School and she's going to be playing arenas soon. She's a fantastic singer-songwriter and she's incredibly driven. Michelle Montoya, we had a fantastic episode. Her and her family are taking over the Old Barley and Brew location and they're starting the Montoya House of Arts. And she's also a writer and that's coming soon. And then Zach Hamer, he opens his podcast talking about how he started out in a haunted house on State Street. He tells some funny stories about that, but he's a director, musician, just an overall amazing person too. And I think that's pretty cool that all these people are from Sedro Woolley. Last but not least, I just put some contact info there. If anyone, I didn't mention our recording studio too much, but there's some cards on the table. We have a recording studio called Fidalgo Street Studios, and we're in the very early stages of figuring everything out. We've recorded a few bands, and I think the recordings are pretty good. And if there's any local youth bands, singer-songwriters who would like to have a recording of their stuff, they're more than welcome to come on over. We don't charge. Like I said, we're still kind of learning it. Yeah, so that's my email, skagitstorytellers@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, Skagit Storytellers. I post everything on Facebook too, Liz Duffy. We have our studio on Fidalgo Street between 4th and 5th. You know that you're at our house. It's a big blue house. There's 4 typewriters on the steps, and there's a drum as well. So you know you're at our house. I also have, gosh, probably 25 more typewriters in our basement. So if you're curious about that too, come on over. And then there's my phone number. Give me a call or a text. And like Chris was saying, I could probably interview every single person in this room. I need to get my book done first. So I'm hoping for the winter to restart recording. So yeah, reach out to me if you know someone or you yourself want to do a podcast. But I encourage you to listen to my podcast, not because it's like my thing and I want you to listen to my thing, but it's other people's stories. And you probably know a lot of people that I interviewed, and a lot of them are really inspiring. So listen to a local episode of a local guest and reach out to them and let them know that you listened. And that's it. Oh, sorry. Are there any questions? I want to say really quick, thank you to Chris for asking me to do this. I appreciate it. Any questions at all about my podcast or any guests or yes? Oh, I lived in Nelson, so that's on the northern tip of the southern island. Actually, so I went to Malaspina University College, which is now called Vancouver Island University. And when my mom passed away, I wasn't keeping up on my studies, and I got a C in one of my courses. And you can't get a C, you have to keep a C+ average. So they failed me, and I had to be pushed back to the next year. So my last 6 months of school, my last 4 months of school, I met 60 people who had been together for 4 years at university, and I didn't know anyone. And this girl said to me on the first day, "Do you want to be in our group?" And so we connected, we became best friends instantly. She's the reason why I traveled all over the world. And she had met a guy on a ferry from New Zealand, and we were between countries, and she said, "Hey, I want to go date Sam. Do you want to come to New Zealand with me?" And I was already selling. I'm selling my car for my plane ticket. I had no money, and I went down there flat broke. And they don't pay very well in New Zealand, and there's no tips for bartenders or servers. So I basically scraped by for a year. It was the best year of my life. It's basically Canada squished down to 2 tiny islands, and it was amazing, which is funny because the year after, my next trip was to the Middle East. I taught there for 2 months, 60 days. I counted down every single day I was there. I lived in a mansion that was, no joke, granite and marble, 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. And I was so unhappy. And that really affected me. And it made me realize money doesn't mean anything. You need to enjoy your life and be happy. So New Zealand was great. I was going to go back there, and then I met a guy from Everett. So that's why I ended up here, which is great because I met Spencer in Concrete 3 years ago. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Mary. I don't know if she's still here. Mary was Spencer's 1st and 2nd grade teacher as well. Any other questions? Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right. And our trying to get out of here by 1 o'clock. Looks like we're looking good today. Does anybody have anything else from the floor before we close? If not, if you could police up the papers that are on the tables and put them on the table over there, just in case we need to save any of those. And let's put the chairs and tables away. And I have one more meeting. We're adjourned.